Alright, I've been trying for the longest while to start this video. I don't know if I say. Of course, I have everything set together, but the future Adriel here, I apologize. I know the composition of that video is atrocious, right? I wasn't able to accurately set the stand, but I still got the content in, so focus on the content and you'll be impacted. Never start, so I'm just gonna talk, right? So last year I went on a 21-day fast, and dare I tell you, it was an exquisite experience. I learned so much, and it has been the catapult to where I am right now, right? A friend said something to me recently that them they talk to persons they know. This was last year, coming into this year, and then they have the youth gathering, right? And the friend said to him, say, yo, you know, nothing happening on my year. It feels the same. Nothing changed. The only difference is that them allowed to grow a beard now. And that was crazy to me that an entire year can go by and no progression, no development, no growth. You know feel that? You know see that? That is a lousy way to live life. Extremely low quality life. Extremely depressing, sad, and disappointing. But guess what? Unfortunately for most people, well, not gonna say most, for some people, they haven't received the keys to living an effective life. Right? And one of those keys I have discovered to be is fasting. No, I'm not talking about a religious experience. Anytime you hear me speak, religion is not a factor. I despise the very construct of religion because the very thing it's built on is impossible. Why? Foundation of religion is to appease a god, a deity, a being that is higher than you. It is impossible to appease God because only God can appease himself. God does things for his pleasure. Only God can please himself based on what he wants to happen or based on what he ordains to come forth. Right? The very makeup of religion is impossible. Which is why I'm happy to announce that God did not bring a religion to earth. He brought a kingdom. That is a topic for a different time, right? May I talk about one of the keys to living an effective life, fasting. So, I'm not say if a man don't fast, he's not gonna be successful in life. He's not gonna do this, he's not gonna do that, right? I'm saying one of the keys an individual can use to catapult their life quality of living and productivity is by fasting. Fasting, what is fasting? Fasting is not starving yourself. Fasting is not easing off Coca-Cola or Pepsi for a while. Fasting is not eating KFC for 2 days. You know, that's not fasting. Most of that is dieting and missing a meal. Fasting is the intentional and willful abstinence from carnal pleasure, physical desires for a spiritual purpose. That's the makeup of fasting. So you put aside, you abstain, you curb your desires that is carnal, that is fleshly, in order to increase spiritually. That is fasting. And that has lost its quality throughout life, throughout generations. Fasting is seen as a religious activity when people are starved themselves. What else? Something where don't bring results. Like fasting has gotten this negative connotation along with a lot of other things, right? But I'm here to tell you that fasting works. And I am a living testimony of that. Fasting is key to quieting the voices in your mind. I, for one, have had those experiences, not to the degree others have experienced it, this mental health issue, right? This issue, not being able to control the voices in your head, or not being able to think, having the issue of overthinking. All of these mental issues, fasting is one of, if not the most powerful and effective way to regulate that issue, to control that issue. What fasting does is that it reduces all activity that could distract, that could confuse, or that could manipulate, and quiets you, put you in a space of peace and tranquility. Even when external forces come to intercept, your reaction will produce graciousness. Why? Because you're in a state of humility. That's what fasting does. Fasting humbles our soul. Pride is non-existent. When someone comes with a negative reaction, a negative response, your response to them will cancel out their negativity and give them a light of positivity. I have witnessed it. I have lived it. I have done it. Right? And throughout this, I'm going to explain my journey of 21-day fasting while I'm on another 21-day fasting. Right? And I'm also going to prepare a book, ebook, and the audiobook. Quality for people, especially young people, because this is the brother. Listen, I discovered something recently. One of the reasons why people struggle in life is because they're bearing the burden in their old age when they should be bearing it when they're young. There's a principle in the Bible. You see, the Bible is filled with principles, you see. Because of religion, people only see the Bible with religious lens. But what God really wants you to see is precept, principles, laws, and ways to live in life effectively. That's what the Bible offers. There's a principle in the Bible that says, it is good for a man that he should bear the yoke in his youth. It is good. What is a yoke? Yoke are the thing that where slaves carry upon them neck, or animals. So anytime someone is carrying a yoke, it's usually that they're carrying a burden for someone else, or a burden that they have. Right? According to the Bible, the principle is the burden should be borne, should be bared in your youth. And then it gives us the reason, it gives us an explanation of what will happen when you bear the burden in your youth. When you bear the burden in your youth, the verse continues and said, he will sit by himself alone, because he hath borne it upon himself. Sometimes when you are hustling, sometimes when you are studying, sometimes when you work, sometimes when you try to get things done, sometimes when you're in focus, sometimes when you're set apart to do something, it can cause you to be isolated from public. It can cause you to be and feel alone. But guess what? People don't understand. They don't understand that you are saving your future self by bearing the burden in your youth. The Bible teaches us that we are called upon because we are strong, young men, young people. When you're young, you have the strength. You have the mental capacity. You have the ability to bear burdens. Remember, when you're young, you know, compared to an older person, your mind is way more regulated, way more clear. Because why? You don't have this bag of information, bag of knowledge, bag of concepts drilled in your head over years. A 21-year-old person compared to a 60-year-old person, oh my God. You can tell a 21-year-old something and he will resonate with it easier, understand it easier. You can't tell a 60-year-old man, because he might tell you about what him do when he was 40. His mind is filled with other concepts and ideas, and it's hard to remove that. And sadly enough, it is key to it is important that we learn how to change our thinking. It's important that we learn how to think differently, because that's the only way we can start to live effectively. Fasting humbles our soul, clears our mind, and sets us apart. If you read through the Word, if you read through the Bible, every time they talk about a person who fast, whether it be Jesus, whether it be John the Baptist, whether it be Isaiah, Daniel, anybody, them always hide away. David, them always hide away. Go on cave, go in the wilderness, lock up in them house. Why? Because fasting requires you to stay the quality and the level of fasting that you want to experience, the one that carries the power of God, will require you to isolate and petition to your Father. Will require you to curb desires. May I tell you, when I talk like this simple or this easy, I struggle. I struggle with communication. I struggle with sexual immorality. I struggle with noise in my mind. I struggle with indecisiveness. Whole heap of different things. But fasting is key to fixing that. I'm so glad that this got introduced to me now and not later. I wished I learned this when I was in high school. Oh my God. If I learned this when I was in high school, so many youths would have been saved, because the power I would carry. I'm not speaking boastfully, but I'm speaking with confidence, because what God can do and what He has done and will continue to do is to impact the lives of the people in this generation and the generation to come. So, watch this whole process. Watch all of this, right? Daily, I'm going to send out videos of what we do throughout a 21-day fast, right? Choices to make, what to expect on each day. All heap of different things we talk about, right? And remember, a book I got drop. Yeah, I forget the book. Yeah, I forget the book. E-book, audiobook, quality. You have to get it, because it's key to improve your life. Whether you're religious or you're not, whether you're spiritual or you're not, whether you're Jehovah's Witness or you're 7-day or you're Anglican or you're Protestant or you're Mormon or you're atheist, listen, this I gonna fix. Try it. Just simple, try it. But watch the process.